Hello and welcome to Bike Social. This is EICMA, it's the annual Milan motorcycle show.
We're going to speak to all the major manufacturers to bring you the lowdown on the top bikes for 2019. Hi, I'm John from Bike Social. I'm here at Yamaha's 2018 EICMA presentation. I'm with Eric Desains, the president of the Yamaha Motor Europe. Now, Eric, the Yamaha Ténéré 700, it's finally here. There's been a lot of excitement about this bike. What can you tell me about it?
Honestly, from the beginning, we wanted to be pure and to make the best bike possible for off-road usage. From the beginning, I was very clear with engineers to say, no, we want a real off-road machine. And perhaps you don't know, but in another age, I have been racing myself the Dakar in 82, 84. I did also the Tunisia Rally, finishing podiums, so it was not so bad. So I have some memories and some reference about what should be an off-road bike. Yeah. But this is why we really push hard, taking care of all the details around the bike to be sure that there is no compromise. This bike is a bike for adventure. So from now we have the bike finally achieved. And the last year we present what we call the T7, the Tenere World Red concept, and it was honestly the bike as it is today. But we wanted to make a last round of tests with all our key riders educated by the Dakar experience, and they have been really testing the bike in the tougher condition. Because again, we wanted to make a pure off-road bike. You can go anywhere in the world, you will be exhausted before the bike. That was the mission. And finally we did it. So this bike will have a limited weight, it will be a light bike. All the equipment are in respect with the usage, which means finally we increase the diameter of the front fork during the development timing. Yeah. So finally it's 43 millimeters, and also with a full adjustable setting from the fork, from the front, but also on the rear shock absorber. Also you can see that the drawing and the style of the muffler is exactly a replica of the Dakar. The bike is really natural and you feel even more comfortable when you are riding it standing up. We are absolutely delighted because this bike has been developed in respect with all the best expectation from our customers.
I'm sure this is going to be a big success like the Tenere before it. But yeah, let's have a look at some other bikes, shall we? So XSR700 XTribute, tell us about the new look of this bike, Eric.
Yeah, definitively. I think it's easy to understand the inspiration, which is clearly coming from the XT500. XT500 has been a legendary models for Yamaha, and the story of all our faster sound models is really to respect our iconic models. So you will see in the next future some other surprise. But for the XT700 or XSR700, we were considering that the inspiration from the XT500 was correct, because this engine is really torquey and we have a limited weight, so the balance of the weight is correct. And finally, to consider a scrambler expression based on the XSR remain absolutely valid. And when you ride the bike with this new riding position, you immediately get this feeling of the scrambler, which is correct. So we play with the tires, we play with the riding position, handlebar, also some detail like the footrest are also in accordance with the concept of scrambler, and we have this optional Akrapovic exhaust also with this upper position, which is reinforcing the total design and line. We know that the people who are riding a retro scrambler don't plan to go to Dakar by the trails. So we have just to respect the definition and the mission of this bike, which is to make an easy, fun and fashionable bike. Also you can get it with A2 or A3 license or full A license, which means that it's really, not only for beginners, but for any guys who just want to enjoy riding an easy bike with character. Yeah, I think it's a good choice.
Brilliant, thanks very much. Okay, so drawing on the learnings of the Tricity and the Niken, this is the 3CT concept. So what can you tell us about this bike?
From the beginning we knew that with the Tricity we have a fantastic front and wheel and suspension. And we could enjoy it on the Niken with a high level of performance, but also we were considering that based on that chassis, we could really make it stronger, better and for longer distance with a larger and bigger engine capacity. And this is why from the beginning we were dreaming about a mix between max and tricity. We want to make a real performant three-wheel for commuting, but not only commuting, also mid-distance. And from all the customers living a suburb who want to go downtown and they want to enjoy this kind of comfort and agility of a scooter with all the safety and comfort of three wheels. We took some time to develop a full new tilt lock concept, which is much more natural. And everything we have been trying to do was, again, following the definition of the tricity.
And can you explain what the advantage of the new tilt lock system is?
The problem is that the actual tilt lock system you have in the market are really locking. Okay. So you are off or on. Mm-hmm. We wanted something much more natural. So we have a specific system, which means that when you reduce your speed, automatically it's engaging a system where you can finally relax. And when you are at 0 kilometer, your bike is like a miracle just standing up alone. So it's very natural. Yeah. And it's not about engaging off on, no. Okay. Much more natural than that.
And so can we expect to see some more of this in 2019?
If 2019 will be a long year, why not?
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so Niken GT. We've already ridden this bike and noticed it handles incredibly and it's got some real advantages. But Eric, what can you tell me about this new bike?
Yeah, definitively from the beginning we knew that the Niken was a very good bike for touring. But we wanted to demonstrate first all the specificities and all the qualities of the Niken chassis. And this is why we launched first the Niken 1, to be sure that don't be disturbed about any application, it is what it is. And then after the first season, we were considering that obviously we have to confirm the positioning of the Niken with this GT variation, which means that you have side cases, comfort seats for passenger, but also for the riders, head gripper, high windscreen. So all the production is much better than the genuine one, but also you have all this comfort and luggage capacity, which give a lot. So at the end, the versatility of the bikes remain intact, but the way you can use it can be completely different.
Excellent. And I understand there's some specific settings on this engine?
We modified the setting of the engine, if you compare with the Tracer 9 from the beginning, to make it sure that the engine is reactive enough, considering the extra weight we have in comparison with Tracer 9. And this is why the acceleration is exactly the same as the Tracer 9. So when you ride it, you don't feel the difference. The character is different, but the total package at the end makes the same.
And the luggage is a key thing for a lot of purchases of this. We've got 25-litre side cases, are they?
Yeah, I think honestly, I should say it's the minimum you can consider. So this is why you have the possibility to add a top case. Then officially you should use top case or side cases. But we know that our customers are creative.
So we saw the new YZF R125 at Intermot, which is fantastic. Now we've got the new R3. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, definitely the R3 is really the entry bike in the super sport class, and we can see that in some countries in Europe we have the A2 license, and for these newcomers this bike is a very good compromise about price for value and everything you can get with already a real super sport chassis. So the main improvement is not about the engine but more about the chassis, front fork, upside down front fork, and also the riding position, which is a bit lower and much closer to R1 or R6, so pure super sport. And this is why now the top speed increased a lot, and all the total balance and performance, the way you feel comfortable on the bike, has been very much improved. And as you know, we have been a clear promoter and pusher to develop the super sport World Super Sport 300 class. And after the first year where we were a bit alone, now more competitors are there, and I think it's great, it's very nice, because it makes a really a very interesting class to promote young riders, and with a budget which is much lower than any Moto 3. So this bike is the full livery, full preparation for the World Super Sport class, with all our GYTR parts, which means genuine Yamaha technical racing parts, and this is really the bike all our Blue Crew rider will race with. And we saw that Galan, our Indonesian rider, won this year in Brno, for example, but also we won the championship in 2017, and we are clearly challenging to win it again next year. So let's see, but this bike, you have Akrapovic, you have special racing part about the high harness, and you have the handlebar, riding position, seat monocoque, the disc brake is a Brembo racing disc brake. So everything is done for racing, and I think it's definitely one of the best bikes to start with if you want to race and if you want to be the successor, because one day we have to find a successor to Valentino. So please, it's time to start. Huh?
Well, talking about racing, you've got something very special to show us at the end, haven't you? So let's go and have a look at that. So there's going to be 20 of these Yamaha R1 GYTRs available. It's an awesome looking bike. Eric, what can you tell me about it?
Yeah, you know, this bike is a dreaming bike, honestly, because R1 is already, and if you consider R1M, is already a very ultimate bike where you have a lot. But we wanted to do more. And then when we start to celebrate the 20th anniversary, using this livery for the Festival of Speed of Goodwood, and then we had the 8 Hours of Suzuka. And when we won, I said, we have to do something with that, and we have to share with our customers. And we could make these 20 units, limited edition, where we really try to do our best to be absolutely pure, having the bike as close as possible with the factory bike, which means full carbon fairing, carbon cover, carbon seat. You have also even the transmission kit and the chain, which is exactly the same, the caliper, the Brembo caliper, but also we have the full electronic, so ECU, you have the quick throttle. So everything we could put on it, we did it. And now we have this limited edition, 20, but definitely if we feel some customers frustrated, we will be creative again to find another reason to make another 20, sure. So perhaps not with the same livery, but always trying to help our customers just to enjoy what is a R1. And definitely a R1, you enjoy it when you ride it on a track. It's a racing bike, and enjoy to race with us.
Well, it's been another fantastic year for Yamaha, so thanks very much for your time.